Simon, and we're going to start
Thanks,
right away.
everybody.
So I am sharing my screen right now. Can everybody see that?
Yes.
Okay, and if I go from the beginning, there we go. And now I don't see you. So if at any point you are not able to see the screen, or we do not, what I'm talking about does not match what you're seeing, please just give me a heads up and that'll be wonderful. So really quickly, just really happy to be here with NBCC. And I guess I'll just repeat that I've been working with Ray and Tammy's, and they've been wonderful at teaching me a little bit about NBCC and what you folks do. I had a great tour of the Allied Health Center, and I was like a kid on Christmas Day. I was so excited about all the facilities that you have, and I'm really excited to get back down and spend some time in the facilities and with the instructors. So today I'm just going to introduce myself and where I came from and what I do. We're going to get a Center of Excellence overview. It's just going to be about 10 minutes. We're going to talk a little bit about why the Center of Excellence for Health was chosen as one of the centers, because right now we have 3 centers. We have the Center of Excellence for Entrepreneurship, Center of Excellence for Health, and the Center of Excellence for Energy. And we are currently looking at adding a Center of Excellence for Digital Economy. We're going to talk about the COE key priorities that have been identified by the District Advisory Committee meeting. I'm going to give you some examples of some of the activities that we're doing at the center, and then hopefully we'll have some time to talk about next steps. So this is me, and like I said, I can't see you. I just see my screen right now, but I think you can see me. But my name is Deneen Diamond, and I've been working in the school system for the last 17, 18 years. I was a health and wellness teacher and personal development career teacher at Leo Hayes for about 12 years. And then I decided to jump into administration and was the vice principal at Leo Hayes High School, which is one of the largest high schools in the province. And then I decided to go over the river and go south to Fredericton High School. And I went back to the classroom, taught yoga and wellness and personal development and career again for about 3 years. And then I jumped right back into administration. So for the last 3 years, I was the vice principal there. And then this opportunity came about at the Department of Education in August, and I jumped on board and was really excited to get back into my passion, which is health and wellness. And that's a little bit about me. I can give you a very long story, but that's the short nitty gritty. So on the screen, you'll see my picture, but you'll also see a list of our partners on the side. And you can see that right now we're partners with Shanix, NBCC, Department of Health, Social Development, Horizon. I'm working with the UMB third year nursing students, Opportunities New Brunswick, and of course the New Brunswick Nursing Home Association has also been a large partner. So meeting the challenges together, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. Tammy actually just mentioned about reaching out to me regarding a high school opportunity that she's looking at, and that's exactly why we wanted to create the centers and look at how to incorporate this type of model. So we want to increase student and teacher focus on career connected learning and make it easier for the teachers to have experts like yourselves at NBCC come into the school, and then the experts going, the schools going to the experts. So we want to help students get excited about the opportunities that are here in the province regarding health and social care. And I'll speak a little bit about this in a minute, but the reason why we chose the Center of Excellence for Health specifically is because of the job demands right now. And if anybody knows anything about the labor market right now, we know that there are many different job opportunities within health that we are really screaming for, our students to take these opportunities here in the province and stay in the province and work here. So that's basically my role, is to, if you take a look at the middle of your screen here, I'm considered the lead of the center. We are going to have a website, and I'll speak about that in just a minute. And then we have our support. So on the left-hand side, we have our K-12 school system. So anything that I do is actually connected to our New Brunswick curriculum outcomes. It's K-12. A lot of people, when they think about career pathways and career education, they think about just the high school setting. And what we want to do here at the center is really start engaging our youth at a very, very young age, and as young as kindergarten. So on the right-hand side, you see that we have our sector partners, which I just spoke about. We are also partners with the post-secondary education, other government departments, and other partners and agencies. And here, just at the department, we have a very large team that's working with the Center of Excellence, and we're very proud of the work that we're doing. And we have many experts around the table that are looking at best practices within Canada, but also within the world. And I will say that we're really excited to share what we're doing here. And we've been invited to many different presentations from around the world, which are looking at this model. And I guess looking at the need for a specific person or specific center to be connected not only to the schools, but also to the beautiful community partners that we have here in New Brunswick. So this is the engagement model for K-12. And like I spoke about earlier, the curriculum focus is everything from the top to the bottom. We are trying to connect all of our learning opportunities and activities to our K-12 curriculum. And the curriculum is also connected to our global competencies. And if that's something that you're not aware of, certainly I could share with you if you were interested. But we always want to make sure that our teachers understand how their day-to-day curriculum outcomes are being incorporated into the opportunities and activities we are providing. So the foundational awareness is more at the K-5 level. And a lot of people think, how do we get our youth at that age excited about the opportunities in health? And I use this example a lot. At the kindergarten level, one of our outcomes is hygiene. And obviously, especially with the pandemic, students are learning how to wash their hands and why to wash their hands. But to bring that question even further with our students, we are trying to get our teachers to say, you know, well, who told us to wash our hands, and what does that look like? So right away, you would think about a health researcher, and, you know, saying health research to a kindergarten, they may not know what that means. They may not understand that language, but you can give them a virtual tour of a lab and really spark some interest in being in a lab and what that looks like and what it feels like. And again, I'm sure most of you can remember all of those beautiful moments in your own schooling, and a teacher sparked that interest in you. So starting at a very, very young age, and I'll give you some more examples as we go through the presentation. The active exploration is more at the middle school level. And this is just, I guess, diving a little bit deeper into the opportunity, and it's sector specific, and it's really looking at problems. And right now there's a big lean towards giving students real world problems. And I always use NB Power as one of our examples, because NB Power right now is actually giving real problems of regarding energy and how we can decrease our carbon footprint to the students, and getting them to come up with the ideas of what's going to work and how it's going to work and how should we market this and how should we really get our youth excited about trying to decrease the energy that we are partaking here in the province. Career readiness is the high school level, as you would probably think. But again, we're trying to provide co-op opportunities and different placements for students. The great thing about the department and the province right now is when you think of a co-op experience, you really think, usually people think about 3 months. And what we're trying to do is get away from just that 3-month experience co-op and really give students an opportunity to maybe step their foot into some type of profession or some type of work environment. So we have 1-day placements, we have 3-day placements, we have 2-week placements. So giving students an opportunity to really think about what their strength is, think about what they want to explore and research, and give them the opportunity to shape their own learning. And what we have found with the model is that if you give that back to the students, they engage and they take ownership of it, and it's better for everybody. So this is our Center of Excellence website, and obviously it's the Center of Excellence website for energy, not health right now, but this is what the website will be looking like when it is launched. And our official launch, I think I'm allowed to say this out loud, is March 29th. And certainly Tammy's will be getting information regarding that. And we're not sure if it's going to be live or virtual at this point, but we have a lot of ministers that will be attending, and the buzz around the center is quite high, and we're really excited to kind of showcase it with not just our partners, but also within the province and with all of our teachers. So I'm going to try to get into this website, and sometimes it will click me out of my presentation. So just bear with me if that happens. So can you still see the website? Is it's live and you can see my hand going around?
We can see the website, yes.
Yeah, perfect. I can. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so our landing page is going to be very different because it's obviously going to be the Center of Excellence for Energy, but we're very proud of all of the graphics and everything that's gone into our government website. It's not a typical government website, and we've done that on purpose. The purpose of the website is to be a one-stop shop for teachers, and I'm sure as instructors, you know how busy your day is, and when someone tells you to go to a portal or go to a platform to grab a document or grab this and that and the other. I know when I was teaching, it would drive me bonkers because I only had 2 seconds to even ask the question, and I didn't have time to go searching for it. So our hope is that this website is going to be a one-stop shop for teachers. And I'll just give you an example. At the top, we have learning activities, learning opportunities, and career profiles. So if I click on the learning activities, you can see that we can go into different grades. So I'm just going to pick 6 to 8. And I love International Day of Women and Girls in Science. This was probably one of the most fabulous webinars I've ever been to. Obviously, I'm very keen about women in science, but it was so well done, and it was done by one of the center's partners, Atlantica. And basically all it gives you an overview. It talks about some of the statistics around women in science, and it gives you all of the recordings here, and you can watch them with your students, maybe come up with some activities that can support it. So there's some additional resources on the side here. There's also maybe some downloads that you would like. I am going to go back to an actual activity so that you can see. So build a passive solar home. So again, grades 9 to 12. And what we love about this is, again, objective, what you need. It's very simple. Here are the instructions, how it's connected to the curriculum outcomes, how it's connected to the global competencies, and boom, right on the side. Here are all your PDFs, everything that you will need so that you don't have to go running to links to find out where that information is. So that would be a learning activity. Now, the other section, which is learning opportunities, is more of a time sensitive. So these would be our live presentations. And I'll just, hopefully that works. There we go. I had to post one on here for the Center of Excellence for Health because my website's not up yet. So this is a 5210 Way of Life teacher presentation, and 2 beautiful dietitians from Miramichi are going to be presenting to all the teachers in the province. So again, just gives you a quick overview, how to join. It's 30 minutes. There you click the meeting to join, boom, and you're ready to rock on March 29th. So the other is career profiles, and this is a great tool, especially for PDCP teachers or teachers that are talking about careers. And basically all it is giving you exactly what you maybe might, like an automation engineer, you click on here and it just gives you a little bit about what that is about and where you can go to get more information about it. What do you need for post-secondary, and gives you some labor market information as well. So all of the careers within the sector of energy would be listed there. And on the top, you see partners. That's just our partners that are listed. And then we are going to have our virtual speaking series, which is going to be another bucket, and that'll be coming down the pipe later. So I'm going to close that. And this works. Are we on the district advisory committee slide now?
Yes.
Perfect. So the two key priorities that have been identified by the district advisory committee are mental health and career pathways and health and social care. So this is a very important for me to share with you because the district advisory committee is the committee that tells us what the teachers need. And this model is wonderful, but if we're not giving the teachers what they need, then we're not going to be very successful. So the district advisory committee is made up of the directors of curriculum, subject coordinators, the leads here at the center, and the experiential learning coordinators. So it's a group of professionals all over the province that are looking at what the teachers need and listening to the voices of the teachers, which is extremely important. So I'm just going to go through a couple of examples of some of the activities that we've done already. The narrative care project, this was pre-COVID, and this is something that we're promoting here at the center. But basically the narrative care program, it's a highly therapeutic practice, and we are still doing it with virtual meetings with the residents, but this was pre-COVID when this picture was taken. Unfortunately, we have not had many pictures of any activities since the center opened in September because of COVID. But I'm really excited to say that I'm going to Mactaquac with a group of 3 to 5 students. I'm taking 120 students to get outside, and we're going to make some bannock bread and make some seed feeders for the birds and just have a really great time. And I'm going to be clicking pictures like crazy because we haven't had any yet. But back to the narrative care project. It's really a program that where students, the high school level, get to go in and interview the residents at the homes, and they're interviewing them regarding their life story and maybe what they've been throughout their life. And it's a win-win because the students are practicing, obviously, their literacy, their listening skills, all those outcomes that are covered within English. And they actually record the sessions, and then they edit them and they send them to a life bio program. And the life bio program takes the stories of the resident and they bind them into a beautiful book. And the examples, I still get shivers about it because the examples are absolutely gorgeous. So the resident gets a copy of the book, and also the student gets a copy of the book. And I've talked to families that have said, you know, my father has passed away and I have this beautiful bound book regarding his life and some of the things that are in here that I didn't even know. And then the other side of it, I've had students say, you know, I've gone into long-term care because of this project, and because they didn't realize what was going on in a long-term care home. And you know, we're trying to, especially with maybe some of the lenses of COVID, trying to bring sexy back to long-term care and get people to know that there's a lot going on there besides the negative that sometimes is spinned on long-term care homes. So that brings me to my next project, which again is trying to educate our students. And this is for K to 5. And it's a beautiful video game. And the students have to go into the video game, and they are a new employee at the home, and they're going into different homes to meet all the different residents. And it's a serious game, which means that it's designed to not just play a game, but it's actually has I guess, steps in it and decisions that the students have to make. And it's all based on social emotional learning and really trying to figure out what the resident is trying to ask, and put the ownership back on the student of what the proper response would be. And so again, a lot of the students, when we did the research behind this, and this is from New Brunswick Association for Nursing Home, when we interviewed students regarding what they thought about long-term care homes, they thought that's where old people went and that's where they went to die. And it's just so sad to think that that's what they think. But, you know, if we don't educate them around what long-term care homes look like, then that's what they, that's what they believe, or that's maybe what they've heard from different people. So not just giving them an opportunity to play, but it also opens up those conversations around what a nursing home looks like and what goes into a nursing home. So the video game is awesome, and I've sent this PowerPoint to both the Tammys. So if you guys wanted to share this out, you certainly can go try the game. I'm not a gamer, so I had a little hard time with it, but everybody that I know that has played it absolutely loves it. We were with a grade 4 class last week virtually, and we were playing with them, and it was awesome to hear the buzz around, oh, I got into this room, oh, did you get into the hair salon? And anyways, it's a really neat way to help educate our students. So the mental health literacy course, and I know I talked about the priorities, so I just gave you 2 examples for the career pathways, and this is what we're doing for the mental health priority, mentalhealthliteracy.org. If you don't know about the company, it's all of Stan Kutcher's work, and he is now a senator, but he started this company, and it's based now out of UBC, but it has professors from Dalhousie and Calgary, and it's regarding mental health literacy, and it's teaching teachers how to articulate about mental health, but also understand mental health. And then there's a teach portion where obviously you're teaching your students about the importance of mental health and what that looks like. So I was extremely excited to put the call out to teachers, and it was this again was I put the call out in December, and teachers are very swamped and busy, but obviously there's a pulse for this type of training, and 63 teachers, I'm very happy to say, have completed the course. 77 signed up for it, which was exciting, but again, things get in the way, and family and life and that type of thing. So 63 teachers from across the province have received the training, and then the next part of this will be the teach course. So that will be happening probably next month. So I'm talking a lot. Yowza. Okay, so a couple more examples, and then I'm going to let some other folks talk. So examples of the COE for Health presentations, outdoor experiential learning with Brendan McGuire from the Department of Tourism, Heritage and Culture. And again, I'm just going through these examples because maybe you can think about some of the ways that you would like to engage our high school students or our elementary students or our middle school students, because I know that you all obviously have a love for education, and sometimes, going into it a little bit in a different way may help spark some excitement around what you're doing within your field and your expertise. So outdoor experiential learning, mental health literacy, which I just spoke about, that was with John Fletcher. He is a key leader for the mental health literacy. He's actually in Miramichi. There's only 5 key leaders in the country, and we're very lucky to actually have one of them right here in the province. In part presentation, we had 3 beautiful young researchers speak to the students about pursuing health research in their undergraduate and graduate degrees, and that was a couple weeks ago, and the engagement was amazing. The students loved it, and it was listening to students that were in their shoes 3 or 4 years earlier. So that was fabulous. I am going to speak to and get Ricky Lee to speak for a minute, but the COE for Health presentation, I had the great opportunity to meet Ricky Lee and her students, and we spoke about the model, and then we let the respiratory therapy students actually brainstorm around what this could look like. So I'm just going to be quiet for a minute and call on Ricky Lee, and maybe if you want to expand on what I just spoke about, that would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Deneen. So I'm Ricky Lee Webster. I'm a clinical instructor for the respiratory therapy program. I know I haven't met all of you guys. Anyway, so yeah, Deneen brought this, like a virtual speaker series, videos. She was looking for suggestions, and I thought it would be a great opportunity for my students to participate in, because they need, in their curriculum, they need 20 interprofessional and volunteer hours. So I said this would be a great opportunity for volunteer hours to, finish up your year. And so anyway, we get all the clinical students together once a month and for presentations and that. And so I invited Deneen to speak, and she did this this presentation that you guys all saw. And my students had some great examples of what they could do for the elementary, middle school, high school students. We were thinking, in respiratory therapy, it's very broad, but there's a lot of health simple things that we could do. So we do, for example, like a preoperative assessment, which is super easy for the kids to do. We take their 3 fingers and we try to put it in their mouth, see how wide their mouth can open. We take 3 fingers and put it under the chin, and then 2 fingers to go beneath their chin. And so it's just super simple things that, you know, elementary kids can do. And then along with that comes like a written document that the teachers can use to kind of instruct their class, or like a little assignment or something that the kids can do to get them engaged in the video. Some other examples was to do a little video on CPR, like grab your teddy bear, you know, let's sing a song, you know, Staying Alive, we all know that one, and kind of do a little video there. There's multiple students in the class that have children, and so they were even, you know, kind of excited to get their own children involved. And we made it clear, you know, this is a public website, you will be videoed, you know, your video could be shared on public website, but they were like, as long as you guys are okay with it. So they were excited that way. One of the students mentioned, you know, the clean hands thing, you know, maybe putting paint on her daughter's hands and getting her to play house or something and seeing where all the paint, all her fingerprints touch. Anyway, so there was lots of little examples. And so what I said to the students, you know, you have a month. It'll be due next program day, so in April. And I'll get all of the little video clips, and I can probably put them together using Camtasia. I've done with NBCC, we have that video editing software, and it's super easy to use. So I'll make the clips up and send it back to Deneen and see what we can do with it. We're pretty excited.
Thank you, Ricky Lee. That's awesome. And I get goosebumps thinking about the students and the creations that they're coming up with, because certainly they're more creative than I am. And I love the idea of the paint and the hands and putting it back to the students and asking them, you know, what do they think that the younger students would appreciate and what that would look like. And like Ricky Lee said, it's one thing to have a video and to show a video, but we really want to try and dive a little bit deeper into whatever the topic is and provide some resources for the teachers to use beyond the video and beyond the day of the video. So I'm really happy to hear that the students are taking that on. So yeah, they will be, I think they're due April 6th or something around that week. And I get to see the videos and hopefully meet with the students again. And if we have some really good ones, we're hopefully going to be able to showcase those on the website. This is a similar project that I did with the New Brunswick UMB year nursing students, and they came up with actual activities, and they were able to go into the schools prior to the lockdown in November and try these activities out. And they now are going to be on the website. Obviously, I give them the credit. We don't use names, but we use UMB third year nursing students. And it's a great thing for students to have on their portfolio. You know, please go to the website here and see an activity that I actually created. So it's a win-win for sure. So the next thing we'll talk about is New Brunswick Science Week. This is a live presentation with NBCC and Where Do Doctors Get Their Answers? And that's with Rachel Colpitz. And I put the call out to some of the folks that had reached out to me prior to this presentation. And Rachel jumped on board and said, I would love to do a presentation for Science Week. And here she is. She's got her own Everbuilder site page and everything. And it's March 21st at 1 o'clock. And we did reach out to the organizers and ask if anybody from NBCC could attend. And she's going to get back to me. So if that's something that you're interested in, I am going to let Rachel speak about her presentation and how that all came about. And Rachel, over to you.
Thank you, Deneen. I'm here actually in the lab in my lab coat today.
Ooh,
So I'm Rachel Colpitz. I'm a medical lab technologist, and I'm an instructor at NBCC. And I love the profession, and I love teaching. And I've always wanted to bring that to younger students, like not just students in college. So when this came up, I was really, really excited. And basically what I'm going to talk about with the students is a lot of people don't realize that there are so many health professions outside of doctor and nurse. So, and I'm going to make a mention of all the rest of you. Don't worry, I'm not going to pretend it's all lab technologists too. But I mean, like, we get a lot of answers from respiratory therapy. A lot of work is done from personal support workers. There's LPNs. There's all kinds of different ones. And then, you know, I want to bring in that a lot of what the doctor decides on is based on results that they get from people like the medical lab technologists or our respiratory therapists. And I want to talk about what that means, what we do, especially in med lab, how that relates back to the science and the math, and how important it is that we get good results, because the doctor won't know if they're bad results if we're giving them to them. So how much hinges on that? And I'm going to have it up here in the lab so they can see one of the instruments that we have, and I can show them some of the little bits and pieces. And I want to see if I can get a few representative things from other labs. Like, one of the things that we look at is tissue. So you can get like a little cassette where we put it in wax so we can cut it and put it on a slide, and just little things like that, so they can see all the things that we have to do to get doctors the answers that they're looking for, so that doctors can make decisions about treatment. And all, you know, also it's 6 to 12, so some of them are going to still be in that age range where if you talk about the fact that you're going to get poop samples, they're going to be amused. So you know, talk about some of the things you see in a day, like, and when you get, what does it mean when you get a poop sample? What do you do with it? You know, what can we tell from somebody's stool? Things like that, and try and get them excited about both just knowing more about how healthcare works, and maybe if some of them are interested in healthcare but don't like as much of the personal interaction aspect, the lab is usually where those people wind up. So I want to talk about that stuff too.
Awesome. Thank you, Rachel.
You're
I really
welcome.
appreciate it. And I know that the folks that are organizing the Science Week are really excited about the presentation and what you're going to be able to offer. So, and I will say that my brother is a health researcher, so I would agree regarding the social part of his personality. He's wonderful and he's great, but he loves to be in the lab. And
Yeah, exactly.
he works at Dalhousie and he just loves it.
And that's what we say about lab people. We love you. We just don't want to talk to you. We want to help patients. We love our patients, but we want to help you from over here. Exactly. It's not personal. It's just,
all right.
We need all kinds.
Thank you so much. So again, I mean, if you want to try and get onto the Ever Builder and register for Rachel's session, I'm sure there's going to be no problem at all. And I think it'd be great to have some support of the NBCC instructors. So those are just some examples. So what's next? What's calls for action? So to collaborate with myself and the center and develop new and exciting learning activities and opportunities for students. And I'm sure I can actually feel your heads all, you know, stirring up all those exciting ideas that you think would work within the province. And the virtual speaking series is something that Tammy's and I have talked about, and looking at trying to create a schedule of trying to film some of what you do. And basically it's just talking about your career. And one of the great things that I guess I get to do every day is ask people why they do what they do. And right now in our world, especially in the health world, when I'm talking about something other than COVID, I am like the best person in their world and in their meeting world, I guess, or their day. So I get to say, tell me about your career, tell me what you do and why do you love it? And is there anything specific that really called you to this, you know, this career? Because I think those are the things that we need to share with students and say, you know, here's the opportunities that you can choose from. And have you thought about X? Have you thought about Y? Have you thought about all of these different things? My brother's partner is a nurse in the COVID unit here in Fredericton. And we were just speaking at lunchtime and she said, I had no idea the opportunities that regarding respiratory therapy. Even, you know, we talked about this presentation and the lab technician and all those things. And she went into nursing not knowing about all these other different pathways. So again, educating our students around what's here, what's possible, and get them excited about being here and staying in the province. That's basically the whole premise behind the center. So with that, that is kind of the end of my spiel. I know that hopefully now when you see emails or information coming out about the Center of Excellence, you're going to be like, oh, okay, I remember that presentation. And you have now hopefully a friendly face to reach out to if you think of something that you would like to bring to the school system, or even just bounce something off of me. Like another great example is I had a teacher reach out to me and say, you know what, I'm teaching advanced research to my students in an AP course in Moncton, and we're having a really hard time finding researchers that will mentor. And I know that mentoring sometimes is very daunting to people that have full-time jobs because it's another ask. And I reached out to the New Brunswick Health Research Foundation. I just said, here, we have 3 beautiful students. This is what they're studying. Is there any way that you would have anybody that could talk to the students or, meet with them maybe for an hour, 2 hours virtually, however that would work? And within 45 minutes, I had 5 researchers that signed up and said, yes, let me talk to these young people and tell them why I love my job and what I do. So again, I just want to thank you very much. I don't know if we want to open up the floor, or if we have time. I'd love to stop sharing my screen and ask if there's any questions, or if anybody wanted me to clarify anything at all. Ricky Lee, I love that you have somebody in the background that's clearly paying attention. I'm teasing. Well, I don't see any hands coming up.
Deneen, I just wanted to thank you so much for this presentation. I know it's been a lot of work to get to this point, and it's been really an exciting time at EECD because you've been waiting for the Center of Excellence for Health to be approved, and then it was approved during a really difficult time, which was COVID, and now it looks like things are really ramping up, and I'm super excited for you. And from our vantage point, the more that students can know about our programs and the rigor of our programs, the better, so that they can be preparing themselves early enough in those early foundational years. And if we can light a fire in a student to say, I'd at least like to be in healthcare, well, then that's a start in the elementary school years. But I'm sure ideas will flow after this, and I think it's wonderful that you've kind of started where people can take part in the speaker series, and Tammy and I have discussed this in terms of it being something that our faculty could use volunteer hours for. We actually have 2 full volunteer days at NBCC, and it's been my experience in my short time as chair that a lot of people don't take their volunteer time because they're busy, and we really want to encourage people to take those days if they want to use this as a volunteer opportunity. But it won't be the only opportunity, and everyone likes to talk about their work, and to a certain extent to know that you're talking to very impressionable youth. That's really, really important. So what a great way to start the Center of Excellence for Health, and I'm excited to see the new website. I think that's wonderful, and just to know that we can include senior students in one of our research projects, or that we have the contacts to be able to reach out to the drop of a hat and start organizing that. It's really quite nice, and I can think of different areas that high school students would really like to be a part of. So thank you so much for this. This was a great presentation.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And I like I said, I love to interact with anybody that wants to email me or contact me. Certainly, I want to talk about anything that you'd like to talk about. So I appreciate learning more about what you do, because you guys are the experts, and I certainly want to learn as much as I can. So Tammy's, you guys have been wonderful for organizing. I know it's a lot of work on your part because there's so many different bodies and different people around the province working for NBCC. And I just want to say thanks for what you do, and keep doing what you're doing, because the students are enjoying it.
Thank you.
Thank you. I
Thank
will
you.
stop the recording.
And thank you to Ricky Lee and Rachel for